All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another exciting edition of Two Men in Black and White, an honest conversation. Again, the goal here on our daily podcast is to cut through the cultural smoke and to knock down barriers that prohibit Black America and White America from connecting on a more deeper, more understanding, and more compassionate level. So let's get right into it. We got all kinds of crap happening out here with the main crap shooter himself, Donald Trump, calling people a stupid person. What are you, a stupid person? I mean, Brock Ganeles joins us now from the lovely confines of the upper Hudson River Valley. You back from your Thanksgiving jaunt? Are you back home or?
I am back. We had some light snowflakes today, just a few, just to
Okay.
give us a little touch of winter.
Yeah, all
Yes,
right.
back home in the friendly confines tonight.
Nice.
Very safe and sound in my rural community.
Nice. Well, let me ask you this. Do you plan to fly to Venezuela anytime soon? Because I'm told the airspace is restricted. What's the deal with that shit?
Well, I'm not even flying in American airspace because I don't trust that Joker Duffy when he tells me things are fine, and I got planes bumping into each other on the tarmac.
Right.
But yeah, so we're just shutting down Venezuela airspace, right? So who flies in and out of there? Like, I mean, all Latin American airlines, I take it, but like, so now we're bombing boats, and now we're going to shoot down commercial airliners if they decide they're gonna land. That's who we're Russian now, right? We shoot down
Right.
commercial airliners over
Right.
space. Come on.
That's
I mean,
exactly who we are.
what are we doing? What are we doing? Who are we threatening? What's the message? What's the point of all this except to divert from the Epstein files?
Right. And well, here's the point. How much money are airlines going to lose that rely on that route, right? Because there are some airlines that go in and out of South America and these different countries in South America. You got to remember, South America is probably, I'm going to Google it to see if it's equal to the landmass of the United States. There are a host of countries in South America and Latin America that people do business with on a regular basis. And Donald Trump all of a sudden gets a burr up his ass and decides, "Oh, yeah, we're not going there anymore. No flying." I mean, he comes up with just arbitrary shit without having any kind of information to base his bullshit on. It's ridiculous.
But Hegseth loves it, right? He's got himself in hot water on the kill 'em all comment on the bombing of the boats. But this gets back to, Mark Kelly and what some of the other ex-military politicians said, which is, you know, should or can our military accept unlawful orders? Because are they, I mean, let's just take this to the next conclusion. I joked about it, but like, are they going to be ordered to shoot down an airliner?
Right.
Like, what does that mean, clear the
Right.
airspace? Like, what if someone violates Trump's crazed rant? Or
Right.
maybe you just put it out on Truth Social. Maybe they're not on the platform and didn't realize that America had declared, war.
Yeah.
So is one of our fighter pilots, Top Gun, Tom Cruise, and going to be out there with Deuce and Maverick are going to be zipping around Venezuela,
Yeah.
firing at United Airlines, 280 from Acapulco?
Well. If Maverick and Goose and those guys want to go on some unilateral wet dream, that unilateral wet dream is going to get you put in prison as soon as Trump's out of office. Okay, he's not going to be in office forever, and if cholesterol has its way, it'll be another 6 months. Come on, cholesterol, do your thing. Take this clown down. Like at some point, Mark Kelly and that band of congressmen and senators that are former veterans are right. We cannot be executing unlawful orders with our military. It is too lethal and it is not a toy to play politics with. No other president has ever even considered this. I am shocked that there are so many Looney Tunes that he could get into his clown car cabinet that are going along
Going
with him
along with it.
using our military as a political toy, a political race set with
This is a
TCR,
this
total
one. Yeah,
racing.
this one's embarrassing because just like think it through, right? Yeah, boats you can sink them and they go to the bottom of the ocean, right? No one finds anything, right?
Right.
You shoot a plane down, there's going to be wreckage everywhere. There's going to be video everywhere. It's going to be the most horrific visuals and make America look like the biggest assholes on the planet. Like, there's just absolutely no way that one of our airline pilots is going to shoot down a commercial airline.
No.
I mean, it's way beyond the realm of possibility. Not because they couldn't get the order. I can't imagine them firing and taking down a commercial airline just because it's in Venezuelan airspace. Like,
Ridiculous.
I'm hoping the training that Mark Kelly talked about kicks into gear, and our pilots would come back to base and just be like, how am I going to shoot down Qantas Airlines? Like, what are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, what are you fucking kidding me?
Hundreds of people on it.
Yeah, going at like 400 miles an hour at 30,000 feet, right? When you got his plane's going like 2,000 miles an hour, right? And they're zipping around up there. Right. Anyway, it's idiotic, but it shows where we are. It shows why we should have a 25th Amendment. But like you said, there's enough people in the clown car, and there's 1/3 of the country on board for this shit, and they're still doing egregious shit until we force them out of there. Right. And we haven't done it yet.
And that's the thing. We got to get them out of there. All right, it's a busy weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, but still a lot of news happening. Let's talk about Tennessee 7 and Afton Bain. Are we saying it correctly?
I don't know. Ben or Bain, I don't know. We should know. She'll go first name like Madonna. She's just Afton.
Yeah, she'd just be Afton. From here on out, let's go get him, Afton. You said you saw a poll within 8?
Yeah, the poll that I saw, which I guess they finished it on like October 18th, had the Republican up 8th. That showed an 85% likelihood of the Republican winning. Okay. I guess the optimist in me says that was 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Trump's approval has shown decline since that point in time to his new lows, which just came out 2 days ago at 36%. I'm hoping that's carrying through into Tennessee. There's almost no way it isn't, right? I mean, everything's a referendum on Trump right now. So, there's other stories saying the race is closing. As a reminder, it's a plus 22. So plus 8 is still a great performance. Even to lose by 8 is a really great outperformance. But hey, we want W's, right? We need votes. We need Democratic butts in congressional seats. Right. So I'm still optimistic with 3 days to go that the momentum and the late breaking votes are going to go her way. And the motivation, the energy's on the side of the left. And I'm still hopeful that she can pull this out.
Yeah. You know what's amazing to me too, Brock, is, we're going to get an assist from McTaco Tits because he can't go a day without saying or doing something really, really dumb and stupid. And that's the blessing here. As his approval ratings continue to decline, he continues to do dumb shit. And now, he's made this slur. We don't use the R word anymore. Retard. Like, when was the last time you actually heard that word, Rob?
No. It's 40 years. No one's used that word in 40 years.
Right.
We were told like in middle school that word became taboo, right? But Trump's in such mental decline, has such little mental discipline now. He's so gone. He can't control any of like his childlike urges, right? 3 days in a row, he's chewed out and insulted women in the press corps, right? Because he can't take, a question he doesn't like that isn't like just total aggrandizement to him.
Right.
And then he lashes out at Walz. He's using words like retarded to the point where an Indiana state senator said he's not going to go along with the gerrymander because he has an autistic son. And he's like, I'm not playing ball with Trump. So at least maybe now there's some ramifications for his actions that even some people in the MAGA side, sensing his weakness, are challenging him, and they're either fed up or they've grown a spine, or I think they just sense the weakness and the decline.
Yeah, they've got to. They're seeing it. Plus, remember, they're on these phone calls. They're listening to these clowns. They're listening to, MAGA Mike, Moses, Grinder, Johnson on these phone calls sit there and just literally, carry water for Trump and try to convince them all to do the same. And, some of these people actually have a brain, not that they're willing to use it, but I know this stuff, doesn't make any sense to them. And, we are now at the point where, if these resignations start coming in, there is blood in the water. Someone should go for the jugular.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we got one today. It took 48 hours, not 24 after Thanksgiving. Troy Nehls, Republican, Texas District 22, has announced that he's not resigning right away, though, unfortunately. That he'll be resigning or stepping aside after this congressional term, which means he's not running for re-election, but he'll stay in his seat. So he'll stay a Republican vote in an interesting district south of Houston, which is 54% white, 46% other non-white, 23% Latin American, 23% Latino, 16% Black, 16% Asian. So it's kind of a mixed bag district. It's not a layup, right? It's been called a +9 district. If that Tennessee 7 is any indication, +9 kind of has you getting your ass kicked.
Yes. You lose by 5.
Yeah.
Easily.
So I just thought you might find this funny, though. I'm not sure you read the release. And I won't read. Did you read the release when this guy resigned? Okay, I won't read the whole release. But here's a quote from the middle of it. After conversation with my beautiful bride and my girls over the Thanksgiving holiday, you can fill in the rest of it. I've decided after many years of service and blah, 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 and I've already reached out to President Trump and told him in advance, beautiful bride he went with. So we almost had the quote, the exact quote they were come with. We thought he'd say beautiful wife, but he went with beautiful bride. Troy, he tripped us up there. Yes, but I think you wrote that press release for him. You just changed a couple words.
Somebody's watching our show. There you go. See? Yeah, the Thanksgiving holiday is the perfect time to blame the family for your reasons to step down and, spend more time with the family, etc., etc., etc. Now, remind me, Brock, isn't this the guy who put his name on one of those bills that wanted to rename one of the airports or something after the Trumpster?
No, the $100 bill, I think. I think he's a $100 bill or the back of the nickel or some bullshit like that. He also had his name on the deportation bill. He was one of the main guys behind that. So he's hardcore MAGA, right? Yes, he's right in there doing shit for Trump, and he's on the King Kiss-Ass team, which is why he made a point in the press release to say he'd already spoken to Trump and loved the president and this and that because he didn't want any, shit coming his way like he's bailing out, which is what he's doing, right? But he tried to cover every base during his bailout.
How about a hardcore MAGA guy referring to his daughters and his beautiful bride? Remember, we said MAGA was rooted in hypocrisy, okay? Yeah, honey, you stay home and do nothing and make sure the house is clean so that when I get home, you'll have my dinner ready. And girls, yeah, you stay barefoot and pregnant too. That's what you do as women. I mean,
and meanwhile, he was a staunch release the Epstein file guys until Trump gave him the green light. So does he? So he cares about his beautiful young girls, but apparently not anyone else's. Right. So yeah, the hypocrisy is deep and thick. So an absolute good riddance.
Yes.
The Troy Nehls or Neils, the political sphere will somehow manage without him. Yes. And hopefully that district becomes a toss-up. Just from what I'm seeing on the demographics and all that, that feels very toss-up-y to me. Indeed. And if there's no incumbent there, that makes that seat harder to hold. So, and he's number 2 now, right? Saying in the post-Mart MTG era, right? Or maybe he's number 1 post MTG, but he's number 2. And
we're still
supposedly there's a wave of them coming. So I'm still waiting for the wave. He dropped it on a Saturday in between the Michigan-Ohio State game and the Auburn-Alabama game. And the day after Texas to say, well, no one's going to be talking about him, right? They're going to be talking about the Longhorns are going to get into the playoff now, right?
Exactly. And Brock, we also have the Bayou Classic going on. I'm not sure if white America is tuned in to the Southern Grambling game. Normally it's a much more competitive game, but Southern coming into the game at 1-10 has a better chance of winning the Battle of the Bands than they do at actually winning the game. So,
did you want me to answer that question?
No.
No, white America is not tuned in. I'm sorry.
No. But, as we called it, we said people were going to drop these, at the most, you know, odd hour, because they don't want to be a part of the main news cycle, right? They're not going to drop these things at,
Yep.
8 o'clock in the morning. They're
Yep.
going to let these things out at Friday night at, 7:30 after everybody's gone.
I'm betting we get one tomorrow. I'm betting someone read this press release and went, wow,
I better get mine out.
barely anyone even noticed this. He dropped it on a Saturday afternoon. I'm going to drop mine on a football Sunday,
No doubt.
NFL Sunday.
doubt.
I'll drop it right in the middle of the afternoon. No one's going to care.
And Brock, and that's the thing about it is, they're all so afraid of Trump and the MAGA nuts, that they'll do anything, to stay under the radar, and you see how slick he was with his. Well, I'm not gonna, resign. I'm just not running again.
Not
Right?
running again.
Like there's some sort of difference.
And I've cleared it with Trump. So like, hey, don't be coming on my Instagram. Don't be coming on my pages. Don't be calling the office screaming at me. I got the blessing from the king, so we're all good here, right? Like he just played. I mean, that's sort of a master class in how to crawl away quietly into the darkness with
doubt.
with nobody noticing and with zero controversy.
Exactly.
So I'm sure he won't be the last because I think it worked. We're probably the only ones talking about it, right?
Yep.
They're probably not even talking about this guy in Fox because it's
Right.
too boring a story. It's not even worth talking about.
Right. And think about it too, Brock. If you're from that district south of Houston, not exactly, oil country down there, getting close to the Gulf of America. And, those are the same folks who Afton Bain up in Tennessee 7 is talking about. It's a matter of life and death. When you don't get your SNAP benefits, right? When
Yeah,
people all of a
affordability.
sudden start saying, yeah, these are not the people, who have the financial luxury of saying, I don't need any government assistance. These are the people that are counting on it, his constituency, So, everybody acts like, oh, everybody in Texas has money. Everybody in Texas does not have money. There are plenty of places, just like his district, where people are hanging on by a thread, just like they are in Tennessee 7, and that's why so many of these districts and seats are going to flip and are going to be toss-ups.
But how much money do you have to make to where the doubling of your health insurance doesn't impact you?
Bro,
That impacts if you're making 100 grand, 150 grand or less, and your health care gets doubled. I saw this. I followed Jess Piper. She lives in Missouri. I think she ran for something. She's really good to follow on Blue Sky. Said she just got her premium. She was on ACA and she had like the silver plan. It was like $550. Just got the new rate in the mail. It's like $1050. Right,
No
almost
way.
almost an exact doubling, and that times 12, $500 times 12. That's an extra $6,000. That's
A
just
year.
vaporizing. Yeah, a year, $6,000 a year, just vaporizing.
And at and your $150,000 budget, where do you pull it from, right? This is after-tax money.
Yeah,
This is not pre-tax. This is after-tax dollars, which means it's even more. So, and, you're getting screwed. You don't have the same kind of deductions you used to have because of what the Trump administration has done to the tax code.
well, Mark, think about it. If you're making 72 grand, you're making $6,000 a month.
Right.
And now your health care is over 1,000 of that, right? Because you're maybe taking home $4,000, right, out of the seven, and now 1,000's going to health care. Well, okay, that leaves you with three. What's your living expense?
What's your mortgage?
It's probably two. You're probably a renter at this point.
Well, it gotta be, yeah.
You're at $1,500 a month, $2,000.
Yep.
Okay, how much do you have left for food, gas? But everything else in your life.
Well,
God forbid something goes wrong. God forbid you get a flat tire on the way fucking home, right? God forbid someone dings you in the parking lot at ShopRite, right? And the headlight goes in. So now you either got to pay for that or got to pay more for insurance. Right now you're just screwed. I mean, yeah, this is what people are just, it's criminal what's going on. And this is why Afton Ben may win Tennessee 7, right? Because it's this message that people are like, yeah, what the fuck?
And as they say in the hip hop community, the math ain't mathin'. It ain't mathin'. It ain't adding up. There's only so many nuts in a tree, right? Like, and after the squirrel gets all his nuts that he's supposed to have on a bi-weekly basis, you don't get to run back up the tree and grab more nuts. That's not
Okay,
how it works.
speaking of this topic, do we think the blackout worked over the weekend? Because I'm disappointed in some of the projections I'm seeing for the spending that went on yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know how anyone has any real numbers 24 hours after,
Right.
so I think it's kind of pie in the sky bullshit. But apparently, Black Friday online sales were huge. I mean, I don't know what the malls looked like. I haven't been near one in a while, and certainly wasn't going yesterday.
Right.
So I don't know. But I don't see a lot of stories of cries of pain from the retail community. Maybe it's too early. I'm still hopeful they worked out, but my gut is telling me they didn't work out that well. What's your feed?
Yeah. You know, I don't have a lot of faith in us to not enjoy the holiday season. And we feel like we have to enjoy the holiday season by going into debt and spending. Because this is what we've been taught, right? This is what has been drilled into our brains. I have no problem not spending it. I have no problem not rolling around to what's that saddest day of the year in January when people look at their credit card statements and be like, "Oh shit, I didn't realize I spent all that."
It's funny you said that because apparently the whole buy now, pay later, like,
Probably through the
is
roof.
booming. It's for everything. People are doing it on groceries, and
Oh,
so
you can
yeah,
see it
we're
everywhere, bro.
yeah.
You can see it everywhere. Just click on anything. Oh, pay $9.99 today and 4 more payments. For a $35 item. Who's financing, a $40 freaking jacket? I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
But
We'll
again,
see. It still might be early because I did see another. That was what Forbes came out with. Forbes thought that Black Friday was up 10% or more online. But someone else came. There was another study that said any of the gains, that price was up 7%, but it looked like the actual volume of orders was down. But because prices are so much higher, the actual revenue spent was up. But which basically just says people are getting less.
Right.
We'll see. It's probably too early to be talking about, and this is probably all just bullshit filler
Right.
of the media, just to have stories,
Please.
because I don't see how anyone could have any real data this early. Shouldn't even have brought it up.
Are we even going to get real data?
I don't know. But a lot of this is coming from independent sources. We're not going to get real retail, like, will we get real retail sales number like we didn't get a GDP number or an unemployment number? Certainly don't believe anything the government feeds us right now.
No.
Which
not at all.
but they're not feeding us a lot of the data, right? They kind of canceled unemployment,
Right.
particularly unemployment, jobless rates, and GDP have been postponed.
Idiots. All idiots. But yeah, so the other thing I had is, as we go into quick hit section, was, this whole notion that I guess the FDA is pushing that COVID vaccines have killed 10 people. Have you seen this?
Yeah, come on.
I don't believe that at all.
Our federal health care system is QAnon right now.
Right.
Like, it's all horseshit, and anyone in the right mind should just be ignoring anything that comes out of any department that's led by RFK and Dr. Oz.
And the
So
like. Yep.
it's sad, but I take with a total grain of salt and don't believe for a second whatever that fucking study was. I mean, the number 2 guy in CDC now is like pushed that ivermectin, right? Like, these are fucking conspiracy theory jokers. Science is out the window, and we might as well just read it. These stories might as well be written by The Onion, right?
And that's the sad part, Brock. They're showing up on ABC News, CBS News. What used to be trusted news sources are now regurgitating this shit as if it's fact.
If it's fact, and it's
There's no way.
There's no way.
There's no way that our medical community came up with a vaccine that would kill 10 children,
Oh, we're hearing about it now. Oh, yeah, we're hearing about it now, late November 2025. It's such total horseshit. Hey, let's talk about something positive.
Sure.
ICE came to New York City today,
Uh-oh.
and some people caught wind of it. Some activists caught wind of it.
Nice.
And they were going to Canal Street, which is southern Manhattan, if you don't know, which is right near Chinatown. So I don't know why that's their fucking target area. And supposedly 500 agents were going to storm those streets. And the people came out. They were on the streets. They stood in front of the parking garage where ICE was parked. They couldn't get the cars out. And the entire day of ICE raids was a fiasco. So
Nice.
New York City 1, ICE 0. So I think I've said to you that New York watched Chicago fight and basically beat down ICE, right? First they watched LA, and LA maybe played to a tie, right? LA got things started. Chicago chased ICE out of town ingloriously. And now ICE is coming to New York. New York is not going to let Chicago out-tough them. New York is going to fight ICE every fucking step of the way. And off to a great start today. Very proud of NYC in that they, in essence, embarrassed ICE for a day. So the fight's going to have to be every day, though, because ICE will be coming up with a new plan. Yep. So it's going to be an everyday battle. But, success breeds
as New Yorkers. Let's be rude and nasty and
loud. Yeah, treat them like absolute shit. That is the game.
Every stereotype you can come up with of a New Yorker, let's do it to ICE. I'm all in on that.
The rude New Yorker, this is the time. This is the time for all that rage that people have from being jammed in subways and living on top of each other to take it out on ICE.
Too bad it ain't so.
I do have a couple quick hits for you.
Hit me.
Number one, Canada did announce their GDP, and although their economy's not cruising, their Q3 GDP was up 2.6%. So we were not willing to announce ours, which tells me it was not 2.6% or better. But Canada has figured out how to diversify their economy. They stuck and moved, and they're struggling. It doesn't help to have your number one trade partner go off the rails on you and declare you kind of an enemy and put huge tariffs on you and make your lives miserable, but they navigated it for the quarter. So elbows up, kudos to Canada for, making the best of a terrible situation.
Absolutely. And what it meant was more Canadians were staying home and spending more money in Canada, which is not a bad thing for them. So, you know what? Here's to Canada. Hats off, elbows up, the whole thing. I wouldn't even mind seeing them take a 10-minute misconduct on the U.S. just because.
But that's economic patriotism, which I hope we show in this blackout period and through the holidays, and we start being smarter about how we allocate our dollars towards companies who align with our values, and not just keep feeding the coffers of the billionaires who turn around and feed it to MAGA politicians who take from us. Why are we doing that? Why would we do that? Follow the dollars. Why are you handing the dollar to a billionaire who's going to give it to a politician who's going to do shit that makes your life miserable? Yep. Don't do it. Cut it off at the source. Yep. Spend it differently. Canada, I think, once again, showed us a pretty good example. What do you got for me?
I had the COVID vaccine deal. I had, my Grambling Southern Classic, Bayou Classic rather, which is always a treat. And, I thought about going out to get fast food today, and I decided to go with the old staple. The old turkey on sourdough, extra mayo, salt and pepper. Just turkey, couple of pieces of bread, a little extra mayo, salt and pepper.
Do you toast that bread? First of all, that sounds like a white guy lunch. Do you toast that bread?
I don't toast it.
You don't toast it?
I don't toast it. I go soft with it. And
we toast it up here in the country. We go mustard, not mayo. But
mustard on the turkey?
Can't do the mayo anymore. We don't need to go into that. I got you to get older. You can't handle everything the same way. I got one for you. While we're on the topic of sports, sure. The guy you hate? The guy you hate is the guy in the pickup basketball game who calls 1,001 fouls. Inevitably on game point, he's calling foul until he scores, and then he beat you, right? Or I don't know if you play much tennis. It probably goes on in pickleball. I've never played, but where the shot's close to the line and the guy's calling it out, and somehow all the close calls go his way, and he's beating you, on a tight call. Well, and you just hate that guy, and you're like, where's the honor? Where's the fucking honor? So on that topic, our beloved Mad King came out and announced that he's won, Mark, how many golf championships has Donald Trump won in his career?
Everyone he's played in.
He's won, according to him, his own public relations department. Donald Trump has won 38 different golf championships in his career. 38 championships. He's beat young guys. He's beat up-and-comers. He's found a way around the course and navigated. He's got 38 trophies. Probably going to go in that new ballroom he's building. 38 championships for the Donald. Now you've seen his swing, right? You've seen him with shit in his pants where he can't even walk out of the sand trap.
Right.
That guy at 79 years old says he's got 38 under the belt and still winning them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you believe that shit? That alone, I would say, hey, MAGA, you know this guy's full of absolute shit. You know it. You're hearing this. If your grandfather, your uncle, 79-year-old uncle, in his can't even get out of his reclining chair with his pants up to the nipples, is telling you that he's won 38 golf championships, you'd be laughing at him and saying, whoa, we got to think about, can this guy really live on his own? I mean, he's lost over there. He thinks he won 38 golf championships. He's babbling crazy shit.
Yeah.
But that's the guy we got in charge. That's the guy who has our nuclear codes.
Right.
That's the guy who's deciding that, our fighter planes need to be hovering over the commercial airports in Venezuela looking to shoot down that next Aer Lingus with, 500 tourists on it. 38 golf champions.
I do have one other one for you. It popped up in my notes. Eric Swalwell suing the Trump housing guy for that mortgage fraud allegation that they knew was false. I love it from the Fight Back files. So, and there was also a lawsuit pending against Trump for tearing down the East Wing. So we're going to have to follow that as well.
So Swalwell's saying that it was a false claim and they knew it. So they're taking it to court knowing it's false.
Right.
But I thought there was something also percolating on the Letitia James thing where there was a question of how this guy, because it's the same fucking guy, right? Mm-hmm. How he got IRS data that he shouldn't have had access to. So I didn't realize. So Swalwell's coming at him a different angle. I don't know. Hopefully, our courts have held, in some cases, at least on the local level, pretty well. But I'm with you. The fight matters, and the embarrassment of it helps.
Yeah.
It helps turn MAGA. It's maybe souring at least those independents to want to pull away from MAGA.
Check out the quote. Swalwell accuses Bill Pulte, head of Federal Housing Finance Agency, abusing his position to concoct fanciful allegations of mortgage fraud in a suit a case they knew was patently false. I love it.
Fanciful allegations.
Yep, just keep kicking these people in the nuts, and let's hope they go away in a hurry. So all right, bro, it's back to dinner, it's back to the television, back to the clicker. I'll run it off on Tuesday.
All right, hopefully you still got some turkey around. I like that sandwich. I applaud you for not going for that fast food. I know that decision was probably a tough one, but you made it.
Because
respect it.
I don't have to do any work, drive around the corner, roll through the drive-through. I actually had to work making that thing. It's tough for me, I'm down a hand. All right, bro. Have a great Saturday night.
All right, Mark. Always a pleasure. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Sure, sounds good. Peace.